Do it scared. Do it blindfolded. Do it here, at Love is Blind Round 2. Because the first time we did this, strangers walked in curious and walked out with undeniable chemistry. So if you missed the first round, this might be your moment. Just you and a mysterious someone. No first impressions, no filters, just energy and chemistry. All possible here at Singles Events Manila.
This is such a hard choice. Where should we go eat today?
Wherever you want. It's up to you.
This is such a hard choice. Where should we go eat today?
Oh, I already made reservations at the tavern since you said you wanted to go there last week. So we're going at 6.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, babe.
Did you talk to your brother about that comment he made?
What comment?
When I said I wanted a piece of cheesecake and he said, "Are you sure you really need that?"
You know my brother. You know how he can get. He was probably just having a bad day. He didn't mean anything by it. Like, don't let it get to you.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, babe.
Did you talk to your brother?
Yes. I spoke to him as soon as you told me about it because I didn't like that he said that. So it won't happen again.
Out of the car to open your door or to meet you at the door or to ring your doorbell when you could just walk downstairs. I am not opening your door. You're getting 4 letters, H-E-R-E. That means I'm here. That means come outside. And that means when we go, like whatever our plans are, we're going to go do what our plans were set to do. I'm not getting out of the car to open your door or to meet you at the door or to ring your doorbell when you could just walk downstairs. Honestly, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I personally believe, and this is just my personal perception of me and my friends and all the females that we have dealt with collectively, chivalry is almost dead.
Once again, I think modern women, they want you to just lose all your stuff. Oh man, we're in love. You only live once, live in the moment. I'm going to protect my stuff because if it were me in your situation, I would get a prenup, but for you, don't you do it.
Keep it kind of simple, right? So you're saying when you approached the girl, they were actually very receptive and they...
I really like your approach. It's really genuine, and I think it's really courageous. It's really great.
So London for game, how do you rate it? Like out of 10, what would you say?
I feel like I can get results here.
What I'm seeing is that Krishna is employing a lot of the things that I was telling him about, smiling more, having a little bit of a better vibe, better energy, and the girl's a lot more open to the conversation. You know, I lead my boot camps in London because you got lots of people, lots of foot traffic. The girls are kind of receptive. You know, it's not the easiest place to game, but they're more receptive, which is why I coach here. And you know from your own experience that if you just approach, it's better than not to approach.
Yeah.
And they're receptive, right? In general, they're not, right? Yeah. Awesome.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
He wants to make her feel like the only woman in the world.
Yep.
Get her addicted to that and disappear the next day. Ooh-wee. With great D comes great responsibility, bro. You can't just be out here slanging it left and right.
Doesn't every woman deserve to feel like the only woman in the world?
And then have it snatched away from her right after? When did you become a crusader for all women around the world? Because I want to know when your journey started, bro.
Because two solidifies that she's satisfied.
What? You can't do that, bro. You can't. With great D comes great responsibility, bro. You can't just be out here slanging it left and right. Bro, we have to be responsible.
Modern women have to understand that you can't continue to call a man unnecessary for decades. For decades. And then you come up here complaining that nobody wants to leave. Who gonna be the boys? The boys are not in your face. They handling their business elsewhere.
I might be the only person on the face of the earth that knows you're the greatest woman on earth. I might be the only one who appreciates how amazing you are in every single thing that you do. And how you are with Spence. And in every single thought that you have, and how you say what you mean, and how you almost always mean something that's all about being straight and good. I think most people miss that about you. And I watch them wondering how they can watch you bring their food and clear their tables and never get that they just met the greatest woman alive. And the fact that I get it makes me feel good.
The best way to calm your girl down if you guys are in an argument is to just look at her and say, I thought your period ended last week. Why are you acting so crazy right now? And just like that, she's going to snap out of it and realize, like, I am acting crazy right now. And she's just going to instantly calm down. So let me know if you guys try.
I mean, yeah, it would probably work. Your life would become a lot more calm and peaceful. You would probably be living here. Yeah, here. So I don't recommend it.
A lot of these modern women go into these spaces. Where are all the men at? It's no men in this room. What do you think that means? Like I told you, y'all are out here thinking that y'all can shame men, insult men, and men just gonna continue to show up. That's not happening.
Where are all the good guys? Where are they?
They're waiting to be made good by a woman.
Oh.
They're not good at present. They need to have the good brought out of them by a great woman.
I don't want to fix a man.
I think a man in his heart is waiting for the right woman to make him good.
Oh my God.
And you can make an average bloke into a great man by loving him.
But that means that the work is on us to fix.
It's not really work. I think if you love a man, they will love you back, and they will start to forget about all the nonsense in life, and they will be made to focus on the right things because they have someone that they love that makes everything else less important.
So somebody please explain this to me, because why is it that every relationship I see, the girl is prettier than the guy?
Well, there are two possible answers to this question. The easiest and simplest being that a lot of women actually tend to wear makeup. And the second answer is that a lot of women who actively choose not to date men that are as good looking as they are, or even more so, basically comes down to the fact is that a lot of women couldn't stand the idea of not being considered the most attractive person in the room.
And what's funny is that a lot of these modern women, even if you go on a coffee date, they've already got their checklist out. Does he make the salary that I wanted to make? What's his 5-year plan? Has he done the work? That sort of thing. And a lot of times, even though that might be great, you definitely want to vet somebody for that sort of thing. They're not even ready themselves.
Why didn't you marry him?
He went to jail.
Oh, so you pick and felons. I'm not going to let you get on here and talk about what black men are not when you pick and dudes that whoop your and that are felons. See, I'm not going to sit around and let you black women just sit around and talk about hey, black men ain't here and they ain't this, they ain't that, when in your own life, you pick. Yeah, take a nice strong drink. Sip it all. Because you're talking about black men that share my reflection, and I'm tired of sisters like you running our reputation in the ground because you pick poorly.
A black man.
No,
Black man.
no, you had 20 million to pick from, but you picked a felon once to have 2 babies by and then Ike Turner. All these black people in Atlanta, why are you picking these scrubs?
That's what's left.
If you don't get off my...
Excuse me? Hi. I know this is a little bit random, but I just loved your style. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go say hi to her because I'll probably never run into her again.
Thank you so much. That's very kind.
You're very busy, I can tell. Where are you heading right now?
And I was at some point
See, I hate
here.
these maps. I love it when, you kind of got that little thing that takes you there.
Yeah.
Right now, this looks like you're,
But then
2 minutes.
I
can make it. Are you from London or are you traveling?
I live here.
Oh, you live here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What's your Instagram? Maybe I'll let you.
What is your name, by the way?
I'm Sebastian. Where are you from? Not from London, I can tell.
No.
Oh, you're from...
Yes.
Okay, amazing. What are you doing here? Switzerland's so beautiful.
I think London is a really cool city. It's really quiet.
I
Where are
love
you
it. I'm from Poland.
Oh, nice.
But I drove through Switzerland once, and it's like the most incredible...
The nature is so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, it was lovely to meet you. I hope you find your
Nice
friend.
to meet you too.
Yes, I will shoot you a text. Take care.
Modern women, if you really get your head right, you'll understand that you can be a man's greatest weakness or a man's greatest strength. A lot of y'all right now are the reason a major reason that a man is unmotivated. And obviously he's got to, motivate himself and, at the end of the day, do his own thing. But he don't need people fighting against him that said they're supposed to be on his team.
I was falsely accused of thrown in prison, bailed out on $250,000 bail with no criminal record. I hired a private detective. We learned that this person had done it many times in other states. They drugged me in the bar on camera, multiple eyewitnesses.
Did the person in question go prison after?
They had zero interest in prosecuting a girl who made the story up, never showed up to court again. I had to fight for 11 months, and then when I was able to prove it with video evidence, they just dismissed me.
There are so many girls that do go through that, and to falsely accuse someone that they didn't do it, and then nothing happens to them. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, the problem is the women that do the false accusing, they really hurt the girls that really were hurt. I'm not going to let one evil person, when there's 100 great people and one bad person, I'm not going to let that person ruin my outlook on life.
I really appreciate this man coming on camera and telling his story, because all too often, even when a man is proven innocent, he has fear of even talking about the situation because there's so many people that will still think that he did something. Men that are falsely accused absolutely have long-lasting consequences. And I'm honestly tired of seeing content out there from women that say otherwise. I think they would like to think that nothing negative happens to a man's life, so you might as well believe the woman as soon as she accuses him. But that's not true, hence why it is so important why men like this speak up. It is also why all of us, men and women, should absolutely be on board with laws that give consequences to false accusations. Because to not have that, which is the system that we are in right now, there are people becoming victims within our justice system, and that is messed up.
A lot of these modern women, like to holler how independent they are. But if that man makes $120K a year, you make $65K, all of a sudden I'm not independent no more. Oh, equality, it's not equal anymore. That's not fair. You got to pay all the bills because you make more than me. And I'll contribute, I'll put in here and there, but I'm not going to be paying the bills because it's just not fair to me.
Ladies, for $50 million, would you switch sides? Meaning you can never be with a man again. So if you take the money, you can only be with a woman for the rest of your life.
Since most men have absolutely no idea what they're doing anyway, yes. Also, since most men in my age range look like some sort of weird lumberjack version of Shrek, when my type is more Alexander Skarsgård, again, I will take that money. Now, I've been single since 2018 on purpose, so I've already been doing this. So if I can get paid to be alone and by myself, I'm fine. Do I have to be with a woman to get that money, or could I just continue living my life the way I am? And could I use that money to form, I don't know, a coven of swamp witches where we just go off into the woods, build our little cabins, like we're like living some folklore Evermore dream of Taylor Swift, by ourselves with our candles and our Victorian nightgowns, just not bothering anybody, you not bothering us, and just living in peace? Is that an option? Because I would really like that. Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
Hi to all my hyper-independent people who can't tell you what their love language is, and every time they think of a love language, they think about how somebody can solve a problem for them because they were wired to figure out how to solve a problem instead of be a problem. I just want to shout out to you. If you find yourself in a situation where you don't feel like being hyper-independent and you actually want to be dependable on somebody, you want to rely on somebody, you actually want to feel like this person is taking care of you, doing very nurturing-like things, it's probably because you weren't nurtured. For some people growing up, they had to be so hyper-independent and meet their own needs that they weren't given affection, they weren't given nurturing, they weren't given acts of service. And acts of service now to you is just solving problems for you. But you are learning that your love language is actually just unmet needs. You are learning that you want to soften. You want to shed the shield. You want to be more present. You don't want to have to be in control and take care of every single thing. But now you're trying to figure out, who can I even do that with? And can I rely on the person to do it? That is a sign that you are coming out of survival mode, recognizing that you cannot stay in this hyper-driven and hyper-independent state for the rest of your life because you will be exhausted.
These modern women don't understand that there have been times in the past that you do something, a man will help you. But now a man is starting to realize you need to take accountability. There has to be consequences for your actions. I'm no longer a fixer. That's your choice. You handle that. And then you come back to the relationship and we'll talk about it. But a lot of modern women, they want a man to just cover everything. Absolutely not.
Wheels and more. Because supporting our local community with easy, affordable payments is what being your local tire shop is all about. Back to school.
This once, I'm going to say this again, man. Never, ever, ever beg for a woman. Don't. If someone wants to walk out of your life, you let them go. That's it, man. If they don't want to reconcile, they don't want to get better with you, bye-bye. That's it. If they cheat on you, bye-bye, right? You guys got to learn how to deal with their disrespect. That's it. As a man, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you do what you want to do. I'm going to pray for you. I hope the best for you, but I'm not going to play the games. I'm not playing games with you. Get up and get on your grind, homie. You use your pain that you're feeling inside right now to better yourself. Lock in with your purpose. Lock in with the gym, or you can go get a pump, homie. Lock in with God, more importantly. Lock in with the one who made you, with the one who loves you, the one who has a purpose for your life. And do what you need to do to constantly improve. It's not supposed to be easy. Life is not easy. Life hurts. Life sucks, man. It's draining. But you have to learn how to use it to your advantage. Get up and do what you need to do to better yourself despite how you feel. It does not matter how you feel, man. Not as a man. It does not matter.
You know, a lot of these modern women be like, oh man, I need to go find myself. I need to go figure out who I am. I need to be free. Thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But as we know, these modern women out here regretting leaving the good man. Oh, I shouldn't have left. Oh man, I said he was an alpha. He was more of an alpha than you, and he was more of a man than you. And now I realize that all he really wanted me for was to run through me and then put me back out on the street. Will you take me back? No. I called your family, and now your family's blowing up your phone. They want you to take me back. No.
Could you just hold me? Yeah. Sure. You know, it's the best. Which I think is also a part of, I see it in women in their 30s and 40s, and I just want to save them from it. Accepting the whole thing. And I made a commitment when I was 48, when a woman in a course said, it's my birthday, at the microphone in front of 150 women. And I was like, happy birthday. And she said, I'm 37. I was like, yay. You're supposed to say I look young for my age. Like, okay. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, why am I supposed to say that? Why do we care that somebody says that? And that's when it just like was obvious, right? That youth equals beauty. And we think we're going to lose our beauty by getting older. But I've been hanging out with men, right? And men talk about radiance. And there's a woman from Japan. He said, is there a kind of beauty that every woman can have? Yeah. It's called radiance. It's the light that can come off of our skin and out of our eyes, and an honest to goodness smile, a real smile.
Most of these men, most men stick around for a while, but modern women continue to fumble these types of men over and over again. Over and over again. And then they continue asking a question. But you notice that the questions never go inward. What did I do wrong? How can I be better? Nope. Why doesn't he like me? And it's not like, well, man, it's about me that he doesn't like. It's more about, man, I'm so perfect. Wow. Why he don't get a load of this?
Fellas, if you're in Houston and you're single and you've been like, where are all the ladies at? They're all with me. I have been hosting events in Houston. I'm coming up on my third one on June the 1st. And I've got about 3,000 women, 3,000 of them. And they are 3,000 of them. They're all over 30 and they all have jobs and they're single. They come to my events to first make friends, and it's like $5. It's like super cheap. They come to make friends, but they're also always like, where are the guys? And so I am hosting a game night, and this game night, we're going to play dominoes, we're going to play spades, we're going to play a whole lot of different things. And you, my friend, if you are single and you like women over 30, they're all going to be there. We always have hundreds and hundreds of women show up in their best, honey, looking for the single man. And so single man, if you like women over 30, you might want to join us. And then ladies, if you have been saying to yourself, I am going to make friends in Houston. Like, I am alone. I want to go to brunch. I want to be invited to brunch. You need to come and join us. It's called HTX Social Club. We go to brunch every Saturday, every Sunday, all the different events that happen in Houston. We're always doing them together every single Thursday night. The singles go to Sugar Room and they meet each other together. So whether you're a lady or you're a man, go to my bio, join us inside of HTX Social Club.
There's a really simple secret to overcoming the fear of rejection. What you're going to do is you're going to think about yourself getting rejected. Think about a beautiful girl that you want to talk to. Think about a business deal that you really want to happen. And think about you actually getting rejected. And then telling yourself, I will accept that if it happens. Where the fear of rejection comes in is this resistance to actually going through and trying your best and presenting yourself to that opportunity and then failing at you being your best. The fear of rejection really stems from not being enough for that person, for that situation, or for that circumstance that you find yourself applying yourself for. So the best way to go overcome it is just to say, I accept whatever happens once I put my foot forward. If you're able to do that, you can go ahead and talk to the most beautiful girl in the world and accept whatever happens. Even if you feel like you don't have a shot in the world, you still have done the work necessary. And that's the only way that you can get success. You're gonna win or you're gonna fucking lose. It's one or the other. But the only way that you guarantee that you're gonna lose is if you don't do the action necessary to get you to that place in the first place. Freedom.
This one's for my single girls. If you are at all looking for a partner, come to Bass Pro Shop in the hunting clothing section. I am married, but if I were to go back in time to when I was dating, I would get off the dating apps immediately and come to Bass Pro Shop because there's a ton of eligible bachelors here. Like, a lot of the men here just seem like genuinely good men and providers. Obviously, I'm married, so I'm taken by like the hottest guy ever. But for those of you who are single, 10 out of 10 recommend coming here. Like, it's a gold mine, especially the hunting section.
How to Meet a Man Organically Part 2. One is about how to meet a man at a restaurant or a bar. So when I say restaurant, I mean sitting at the bar of a restaurant, which is different than a bar. Go in, I scout the bar. I look, is there anyone that I'm interested in? If I am, I try to get as close in proximity to him as I possibly can. If I can sit right next to him, awesome. If I have to be a few chairs over, okay, I can make that work too. If he's sitting next to me, that is easy. I just ask a question. I say something like, what are you drinking? That looks delicious. I don't care if it looks disgusting. I'm just trying to talk to the guy. Or if I'm trying to order some food, I'll look at the menu and I'll look at him and go, oh, what's good here? I might be to the restaurant 100 times. It doesn't matter. Something, an opening to engage in conversation. Now, if the guy is a few chairs over or even at the very end of the bar, this is where it's take a little bit more courage, but I know you can do it. I believe in you. I look right at him and I'll smile and do this. A little smile and a wave. It lets him know that I see you and I'm interested. Think about it. If you don't try, you're not going to talk to him anyway. Okay, and you want to hear the boldest thing I've actually done, and it worked, is I walked right up to a man and I just said, hi, I'm Rachel. That's it. I just walked up and said, hi, I'm Rachel. And the guy talked for 10 minutes straight. Like, he just talked nonstop. And guess what? Then we had brunch that Sunday. I'm telling you, you just have to give like a little something. Like, don't go the whole way. Don't say everything. Don't do it all. You're not handing him everything on a silver platter, but just give him a little crack to say something to you. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And then let them do the rest.
I have a bone to pick with the men. Why are we not asking women out on dates anymore? Why do I shoot my shot more than any of these guys? Do you know how good of a chance you would have walking up to a girl, telling her she's beautiful, asking her if she's single, asking her out on a date? Why do I feel like I have bigger balls than half these men? Like, I shoot my shot with no problem. If you don't like me, you don't like me. Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot. When did we stop doing this and why?
I think gyms are an amazing place to meet men. I think a gym is the only place, hear me ladies, that you should approach a guy. Okay. I think it's the only place that you should really actually go and approach them. Like, if you see a cute guy, because I genuinely don't think guys are gonna come at you at the gym. Do you?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because I'm kind of like, okay, I want them to make the move.
Men are not going to approach you at gyms because unfortunately all these girls have done these crazy TikTok videos and shame these people online. Okay. They don't want to be the creepy gym guy, and they don't want to, like, if it goes sour or bad, they don't want to, that's their sanctuary. They don't want to have to like switch their time, right? Stink.
But where are all the good men at? That's what women post online when accountability walks into the room, but they sprint for the exit. Bad behavior isn't remote controlled, it's chosen, and blaming someone else is how she stays a permanent victim. If influence forced behavior, nobody would fail, nobody would implode, nobody would torch their own life, but she will, repeatedly. Responsibility feels heavier than consequences, so villains get invented. And men are the perfect villains because they have leverage and power. They have resources. They're easy to point at when your own decisions look terrible. Women who can't own their choices don't want truth. They want a scapegoat. And if you need someone else to blame, you already forfeited authority over your own life.
All right, since so many people think it's so easy to meet someone the normal way, the natural way, in person, tell me where, as a single woman, am I going on a Friday night or whenever to meet the love of my life? All of these comments are coming from people who say that I need to get off dating apps, but I don't think it'll make a difference because the same guys that are on the dating apps are the same guys that are in public too. And on one of my previous videos, I got an overwhelming response from men saying that they won't approach women in public anymore because they don't want to be a creep. But again, everyone seems to think it is just so easy to just simply meet someone in person. So give me suggestions. Where am I going to find love? Let me know. And don't tell me to join a running club. I'm not doing that. I'm not running to find love.
I think I actually really understand why men are not approaching women out. Beyond the fact that the dating apps have kind of ruined dating, culturally. I also think the emphasis we've been putting on consent is scary. And that's, I mean, it should be, I think I would prefer that you are concerned and erring on the safe side. Obviously, this is an important conversation that had to happen. I understand, though, why men have gotten into their heads, especially men who care a lot about not making a woman feel uncomfortable, that they would just err on the side of caution and not approach a woman at all. Like, I understand that.
That's why you can't just have one, because one can't satisfy everything you did listen. I did listen. So now what? I got one, I got a hood nigga. That's gonna satisfy like the bad boys, you know? Like the fun, the living on the edge. Then you got your respectful, nice gentleman guy. Like
8,000 years after the fallout of feminism. Wow, so was that really happening in the black community in the 21st century?
Yeah, that was really happening in the black community. You had older single women basically teaching their grandchildren to repeat the cycle. It's kind of toxic, isn't it?
But didn't the black females know that this was a negative when it comes to family creation? And overall weakens the black community?
Yeah, they knew. We tried to tell them. But they said, I don't need a man, I'm independent, and that gets really annoying. So we just said, all right, let them do whatever they want.
One look and I yell timber. Women are hypergamous. They want males who are of equivalent or higher status than them socially. And the same isn't true in reverse. And so what that seems to indicate is that women, and the data bears this out, by the way, women are not happy if they are associated with a relatively low status partner in comparison to their own status. And what that seems to me to mean is that to some degree, it's incumbent on women to support their husbands to the degree that's possible in achieving and maintaining the status that would make them as women satisfied. But I know there's something that's deep about it, and that it's something that our culture has done a very bad job of sorting out conceptually and technically. Female can identify what's poisonous early so that it doesn't become so poisonous that it's destructive, and that's part of that discretion and judgment.
Yes.
And she can bring that to the attention
exactly.
of her mate.
Absolutely nobody's talking about the man who had to start over from zero because a relationship destroyed his peace. He lost time, he lost money, he lost confidence, and in some cases, he lost years of his life trying to make something work that was quietly breaking him. And he stayed in silence. He suffered in silence. The hardest part, it's carrying the silence because men aren't encouraged to talk about emotional loss the way others are, the way women are. So that man rebuilds quietly. He questions his judgment. He becomes more guarded because he learned a hard lesson. The cost of giving too much to the wrong place, investing too much in the wrong person. If that's your story and this video resonates with you, I want you to hear something. Starting over isn't failure. Walking away wasn't weakness. Choosing peace after chaos is strength.
It's not desperate or pathetic to want to find a partner or someone to love, or there is that kind of energy where it's like, look at me, I'm here on display and I'm waiting for you to claim me. And it's just like, ugh, I don't like that. Like, why can't we just be like cool first? Like, don't.
I wish we'd go back to when guys are just always walking up to you when you're out. Like, could you imagine? Oh my gosh, if you're like at the grocery store, at the gym, they're like, hi, I just couldn't help but say you're so beautiful. Like, I'd love to take you out sometime if you're single. If they were like good looking, I'm like, can we go back to those times? But because like society has more and more changed women to be like the chasers or like things like this, it's like making a lot of men be like, oh, I can just sit back. And I'm like, I hate that.
About 63% of men under the age of 30 are single, and a majority of them aren't even trying to date. Why do you think that is?
I think that they have trauma from past relationships, and that has kind of formed their perspective on women and dating, and they're making decisions based on their trauma. Because, right, they don't want to get hurt again. They don't want to put themselves in a position of being vulnerable. And I think it's just easier to be alone and mess around than it is to actually have a solid relationship, because that requires work.
Looking at the guys I date or my generation in general, what is the number one issue you think my generation has with dating? I could probably answer this for you.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's accessibility. You see so much of these like Insta baddies online.
Yeah.
These guys think that everyone's just so accessible these days.
Well, the issue is that in the old days, you actually had to go up and talk to the person. If I was
fucking they're pussies now. They don't come up to you.
Exactly.
And they're scared of me.
They are.
So they think I'm a
you know, the hottest, that's why I always went up to the hottest girl in the room to get a date or whatever, because no one goes up to the hot girl because they don't have the balls to go up to the
No one has the balls.
Plus the guys, you know, I don't know.
I've been out where I go to a bar and like there'll be a group of guys at a table next to me and I'll be at a table with my girls like whatever. No one will say a word to each other and then I'll leave the bar and I'll get like DMs on Instagram being like, I was next to you at the bar. I'm like, you just
she doesn't bite. You don't bite.
Like, no.
Hard anyway.
I'm just like, this is such a move. You're just like, you feel safer behind a keyboard.
Be a man. Just walk up and introduce yourself.
What's the worst that could happen?
No.
Yeah.
A man will do anything for you unless he feels like he's being commanded. No man wants to feel like he's being ordered around. Even if you've been speaking this way your entire life, if there's a certain energy in your tone, he feels that. And he immediately loses the motivation to do whatever you're asking. The tricky part is most women don't even realize they're doing it, because they've been trained to have some edge in their voice. And it comes from how you were raised, the need to always be in control, or just life experiences that have hardened you. So when you speak, it sounds normal to you, but for him, it feels like you're constantly correcting or watching or expecting him to perform. And that's how you end up with a passive, unmotivated, disengaged guy. And it's common, but it's not how it's supposed to be. And there is such an easy fix. If only women were taught about the power of their sweet, inviting tone instead of speaking from their masculine dominant side all the time. When you function from that place, you don't even need to ask your man to get things done. He will naturally want to take initiative. He will want that deeper connection with you. My free masterclass teaches you how to inspire your man to step up with less effort. Comment class and I'll send you the link.
I met the greatest guy. He was on a date with another woman. And then when she was in the bathroom, he came over to me and was like, you're so cute. I want to take you out and ditch this other girl. Yeah, he does have kids, several actually, with all his different exes, but they're like total friends and they don't let him see them. COVID totally got in his way and he hasn't seen them since before that. They charge him like massive amounts of child support that they're totally spending on themselves. Yeah, I don't know why he and his wife split up. I think it's because he's on such a higher level than they are and he just didn't want to settle anymore. He's cured from addiction, totally taking things slow. Like right now he's living at his parents. I said, why don't you just move in? He says he wants to take me on a really nice trip, but he's so busy with work right now. He's an entrepreneur. He's about to make this huge deal. And when he does, he's going to be like a millionaire overnight and he's going to totally pay me back. To the casino, sometimes like all day and all night, but there's no cell reception. So I don't hear from him for like 24 to 48 hours. Red flags? I haven't really noticed any red flags. Good cheater vibes. He'd cheat on the wives with the... No, he just makes me feel more loved than anyone ever has. Why are you wishing me luck? I have never been happier.
A deeply feminine woman does not want to be your equal. She wants something beyond that. She wants to surrender into your trust and leadership. Because if you are equals, why should you pay for dinner? Why should you open the door? Why should you be the one that goes off to war and dies? We don't, as men, want to sacrifice our lives for an equal. We want to sacrifice our lives for something that's divine and nothing less. It is important to hold this frame in relationship because what she's craving is to surrender into your potency and power and leadership as a man. And the only way she can do that is if you have her in the proper frame, which is something that is beyond wholeness, that is beyond equality. The game of relationship evolves in 3 stages. So in stage 1, it's where the man has power over and the woman has power under, and there's this kind of codependent thing that's going on. And then in stage 2, you're equals, and you're 2 equals coming together, creating this third thing called a relationship. That's what therapy gets us to. But there's a stage beyond that where you decide that wholeness isn't enough. I want to go beyond wholeness. I want to experience something beyond myself. And when you evolve into that stage as a couple, the dynamic changes, and it changes into this like muse and creator dynamic where the woman becomes the muse that you are in service of, and you are the creator that's creating a world for her to express her beauty and her joy and her excitement. And her beauty and her joy and excitement feeds you to go create more and to play bigger games.
Like host.
I just saw a video of a military vet talking about how when they were stationed in Japan, so many guys were coming home with wives. And he was already married to someone back in the States, and he was asking the guys, like, what is the deal with this? And their answer was that these women were so ecstatic to be with them. They were so happy to be with them. Just to be their wives and to be the mother of their children was all that they asked from them. To go work their normal jobs and have a normal average income and do the normal things that a man does, and they were satisfied. And not only were they satisfied, they were in love and happy. And a lot of women might not like this, right? But the reality is feminism has ruined our culture and caused women to be hardened, to be more masculine than ever. And listen, it's caused a feminization of men as well in the process. And in the end, it is our responsibility. Like, it is our fault that that all happened. Weak men in leadership allowed our culture to become what it is right now. But this whole passport bro thing is starting to make a lot of sense to guys.
You can't tell a woman to lower her expectations, but the reality is, what I've seen on dating apps is that all of the women want the same few guys, and they shut out the rest.
Yeah, okay, so there's a few things I'll respond to there. So one, going back to the income graph, I want to just call out that, yes, right now in a few urban markets, women are making more than men. So women in DC and New York under 30 are making more than men on average, but in most situations, men are still making more than women, but we're talking about a projection. Going back to the dating research. So yes, it's exactly as you described. What we have right now is there's fewer and fewer men that are hypergamous mates for women. So if there's a much smaller pool of guys, then what you have is you have a bunch of women competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys get ignored. But what I also see is that those top guys are having a hard time deciding. So I feel like in my coaching practice as a dating coach, I'm working with a lot of women who say, what do I do? I've changed my profile the way you said I should. I took your class, but I still feel like there's just not enough great guys. And then I work with these CEO men who are having such a hard time choosing. And so I think we really have this exacerbated problem where so many women are competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys are getting ignored. And then what ends up happening is, where do those guys go? And they go online. They go to porn or they go to Reddit. I mean, I love Reddit, but they're really going to some of these red-pilled communities. And so what you're seeing now is just men really opting out of society. So when you go back to that stat, 1 in 7 young men in the UK is NEET, not an employment, education, or training. They have just opted out.
And the thing about divorce, it really, and honestly, truly in any situation, it's going to be, in a lot of situations, it's going to be rough. Now you're taking, even with two people coming to the table and wanting it to be an amicable split, you're taking that and magnifying it times like 1,000 with modern women. They don't want the split to be amicable. They want the split to be you suffering, you going through it, you having a terrible time, you struggling all for the rest of your life. That's what they're looking for. They want a man to be so down low, to struggle, to have a terrible time. That's what modern women are looking for when they say commitment. You struggle because you're the man. You have a terrible time because you're the man. It's you. Now, see, that's what Kevin Samuels was saying. Y'all looking for a man to just hop up and run downstairs when something goes bump in the night. You do it. You're the man. But when the man comes back and says, thank God there was nothing down there, I'm going back to bed. You got to feed this baby. Well, I was downstairs making sure that the house was secure. You can feed the baby. Oh, well, you a deadbeat dad. I'm a single mother. You see how that works? All of a sudden now I'm not contributing. All of a sudden now I'm trash. All of a sudden now I'm not a good man. Because I did my job. Well, there wasn't nothing down there. There wasn't nothing down there right now. Let's say for the sake of argument, there was something down there. Now I got to fight off every criminal, whoever it is, whatever tools I use, I got to fight them off. And then you want me to come upstairs. Okay, now feed the baby, change the baby's diaper. I'm going back. I'm going to bed. I'm going back to sleep. They want you to do all the work. You take care of the kids. You make sure the house is clean. You make sure the dinner's cooked. You make sure the kids, their homework is done. Make sure their doctors, all that stuff. And do it the way that I tell you to do it. I'm your manager now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's what they're looking for. I'm looking to do nothing. I'm not even going to be a good captain. I just said I'm the captain. That's how modern women